This is not a normal Colorado interior. That cockpit, diamond-quilted leather, red ambient lighting, a widescreen digital array, doesn't belong in a mid-sized truck. It belongs in something that costs twice this much. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what Chevy is doing with the Titan 4000 designation and why this interior tells us more about GM's mid-size truck strategy than anything they've said publicly. There's one material choice in this cabin I've never seen Chevy make on any truck at any price point. And the real question isn't whether this interior is impressive. It is. The question is whether it justifies what they're going to charge for it. My answer is going to catch people off guard. We're going to cover the build quality, the tech layout, the seat engineering, and how it stacks up against the Tacoma and Ranger. But first, I've been hearing that this Titan 4000 project started inside GM's performance division as a response to a very specific problem. And that problem isn't what you'd expect. Here's the context that matters. The current Colorado ZR2 runs the 2.7-liter TurboMax 4-cylinder, making 310 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque, already the most torque in the mid-size segment. The ZR2 Bison sits at the top with Multimatic DSSV dampers, locking differentials, and 35-inch tires. But the interior has always been the weak point. Hard plastics, limited storage, and a rear seat that experienced truck owners have rightfully criticized for legroom. What stands out to me is that the Titan 4000 doesn't just address those complaints, it obliterates them. And the engineering reasoning behind it connects to a backstory I'll reveal later. But the story starts the moment you open that door.
First impression, this doesn't feel like a Colorado. The entire dashboard architecture has been rethought. Brushed metal trim panels span the full width of the dash, separated by a continuous red ambient light strip that runs from the A-pillar across the center stack to the passenger side. It's restrained, not a gaming PC, not a nightclub, just enough to create a visual horizon line. The material choice I mentioned at the top, look at the door panels. That's microsuede and leather with a diamond-quilted pattern and red contrast stitching on a mid-sized truck. Chevy has never done this at this level on any Colorado, and the material quality is a genuine step above what you'll find in a current Tacoma TRD Pro or a loaded Ranger Lariat. Now, here's what's interesting. The dash to door panel transition, where different material surfaces meet, is tight. No panel gaps, no misaligned textures. For anyone who's owned a previous gen Colorado and dealt with the occasional interior rattle after 30,000 miles, this level of fit and finish is a meaningful improvement. But the real command center is dead ahead of the driver. The instrument cluster is a fully digital widescreen unit, what appears to be an 11-inch diagonal panel, showing twin analog-style gauges flanking a central vehicle status display. Speedometer on the left, tachometer on the right, with a 3D rendered truck graphic in the center that shows real-time drivetrain status. The red line starts at 7,000 RPM, and the layout reads clean without drowning you in data. The steering wheel is a flat-bottom design with a Chevrolet bow tie center badge, chrome-accented spoke controls, and leather wrapping with red stitching. What I appreciate is the button layout. Volume, media, and driver assist controls are separated by physical dividers, so you can find them by feel at night or on the trail. That matters when you're bouncing through washboard at 40 miles per hour. Here's the first speculative tech. Sources suggest the Titan 4000 is equipped with what I'm calling a trail adaptive cluster mode. The digital display automatically reconfigures when the truck detects off-road driving via the terrain management system, swapping the standard gauge layout for pitch and roll, tire pressure per corner, and a real-time suspension travel graphic. The hardware is already in the vehicle. It's a software integration play, using data from the existing accelerometers, TPMS sensors, and multimatic damper position sensors. But the real tech story sits right next to it.
The center touchscreen runs the 11.3-inch diagonal GM infotainment system with Google built in, wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, and the same interface you'll find in a Silverado or a Tahoe. That matters because the software is mature. GM has had several years to work out the bugs on this platform. If you've used it in any recent GM truck, you know what to expect, and it works. What stands out here is what's below the screen. Physical HVAC controls with dual-zone climate, real knobs, real buttons, real temperature readout. The left knob controls fan speed, the right controls temperature. Heated seat buttons sit at the far left. At this price point, you'd expect Chevy to go all touchscreen to save money. They didn't. And for anyone who's tried to adjust the AC in a Tacoma with the iDrive style knob while wearing work gloves, you'll appreciate that decision. The center console gets a traditional gear selector with a leather boot and a dedicated drive mode button, plus an electronic parking brake. The cup holders are properly sized and positioned forward of the shifter where your hand naturally falls. Here's the second piece of speculative technology: an integrated trail navigation system that uses downloaded topographic maps and GPS altitude data to provide real-time route difficulty scoring on off-road trails. Think of it as Waze for fire roads. The system rates upcoming terrain segments by difficulty based on elevation change, surface type, and vehicle approach angles. The engineering logic is sound. Every sensor needed for this already exists in the ZR2's terrain management system. Now, everything I've covered so far, the materials, the tech, the engineering integration, that's all genuinely impressive. But here's the thing most people are going to miss. The real test of this interior isn't whether it looks good in a showroom. It's whether it holds up when you've been driving 8 hours to a trailhead and you still have to sleep in this cab. That's where Section 6 gets interesting.
The front seats are the highlight. Diamond-quilted perforated leather with red contrast stitching, bolstered sides, and what appears to be ventilation perforations across the seat faces. The bolstering is firmer than a standard Colorado. That's the Titan Edition influence. If you're driving fire roads for 3 hours, those bolsters keep you planted without cutting off circulation. That matters. The rear bench is where it gets honest. It's a flat-bottom design. No flip-up cushions for under-seat storage in this configuration. The diamond quilting continues to the second row, which is a nice visual consistency, but legroom remains the Colorado's biggest constraint. For anyone over 6 feet, long trips in the back row are still going to be tight. That hasn't changed, and a luxury interior treatment doesn't fix geometry. Where I think they got it right is the floor mats. Rubber all-weather mats with deep channeling, because this truck is going to see mud, water, and trail debris. The material hierarchy is smart. Luxury where your body touches, utility where the dirt goes. But how does this compare to what else is out there?
Against the 2026 Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro, the Tacoma's interior has improved with the latest generation, but the material quality on the upper door panels and the center stack still leans heavily on textured plastic. The Colorado Titan 4000 has genuine leather and microsuede in places where the Tacoma uses vinyl. That's a tangible difference you feel every time you close the door. Against the Ford Ranger Raptor, the Ranger has better rear seat legroom and a more ergonomic center console. That's where this Colorado still loses. But the Ranger's infotainment, while competent, doesn't have the same mature software stack that GM's Google built-in system offers. My opinion, and this is where the backstory comes together. The Titan 4000 interior exists because GM's performance division realized the ZR2 was losing conquest buyers at the dealership. People would drive the truck, love the suspension and powertrain, then sit inside and walk away. The interior was the deal breaker. This is GM's fix, and based on what I'm seeing, it's the right one. Here's the third piece of speculative technology that ties it all together. Sources suggest a 48-volt mild hybrid assist system for the 2.7-liter Turbo Max, adding approximately 20 pound-feet of supplemental torque during low-speed crawling and smoothing the turbo lag that some owners have noticed off idle. The electrical demand from the Titan 4000's ambient lighting, heated and ventilated seats, and expanded audio system pushed GM to upgrade the electrical architecture anyway. The mild hybrid is the logical next step. Now, here's what I actually think about this truck, the full, honest assessment. And it goes back to that problem I mentioned at the beginning. The problem GM's performance division identified wasn't power, it wasn't suspension, it wasn't off-road capability, it was perception. The ZR2 was being cross-shopped against trucks that cost $15,000 more and losing because buyers couldn't justify the price when the interior felt like a $35,000 truck. The Titan 4000 interior closes that perception gap. Is this interior worth the premium over a standard ZR2? If you're someone who uses your truck as your daily driver, commuting, road trips, weekend trails, then yes. This is the first mid-size truck interior I've seen that doesn't make you feel like you compromised. If you only use the truck for work and you'll never notice the stitching, save your money and get the standard ZR2. It's still a remarkable truck. That diamond-quilted interior we opened with, the one that doesn't look like it belongs in a mid-size truck? It doesn't. That's the whole point. GM built this because they believe the mid-size truck buyer deserves better. And on the evidence of this interior, they're right. I genuinely love to hear your perspective, especially if you've been cross-shopping the ZR2 against the Tacoma TRD Pro or the Ranger Raptor. Drop your thoughts below. And if you want to see the full exterior breakdown of the Titan 4000, that video is right here. If this kind of real, no-nonsense truck analysis is what you're looking for, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.